tell.
Am I looking at you or am I looking at the camera?
Look at me.
Okay, because
but
I was like,
if you do look at the camera, it's okay.
okay.
But look at me. Yeah.
I'm like,
where am I looking?
Right, I'm like, this light, this thing is right in front of me, so should I look in there? Okay.
Here you go. I visited Tiffany in Orlando, Florida, and I was immediately inspired by her work in progress of a sewing space. Between a move and the birth of her daughter, she hasn't had much time to sew, but that hasn't stopped her from building a home sewing studio for all of her future projects.
We got this idea to paint the room white to kind of reflect the natural light that's in here. I have like a sliding glass door over here. I've got this window with the light coming in. I think that the white walls with the white floor just really helps me be creative in this space, I guess you could say. Eventually, we're gonna drywall this wall, we're gonna redo the ceiling, and I found a pegboard in the garage. And so I'm gonna put the pegboard on this wall here and put all of my sewing utensils on that wall. Right now I just have it in a white drawer underneath my cutting table. I literally just made this up yesterday. I was like, I think this would be the greatest place to take photos is on this wall. We decided to keep the natural brick exposed. It was disgusting. This was carpeted with 2 things of linoleum on top of it, and this was all old school wood paneling, and my husband was like, let's just rip it all down and show the brick on the walls. I'm really glad we went with that decision because it looks great. I have 2 sewing machines. I have the Janome 2212 and I have the Juki Straight Stitch 8700. I love my 2212, I think, more than my industrial. I find my industrial to be really good for like when I made my ginger jeans. I wasn't scared to use this machine, although my home sewing machine could have done my ginger jeans. This is really good because it's fast and silent. I kind of like that. Whereas this kind of has the old school like, you know, that kind of thing. I like that too, but if you're looking for silent, that's the best thing right there. My workflow goes is I have a board over here that I have like the months written out. On each month I will write down exactly what I want to sew. So like if it's summertime coming up, I know that I want to start on a swimsuit in February or however that works. So I kind of can think forward, and if I go fabric shopping I can think about, or pattern shopping I can think about those things because I have my board. I will buy the pattern first, and then once I get my pattern I will get the fabric for it. And I typically work with 1 pattern at a time. I don't have multiple projects going on. That's kind of how I do my workflow. I kind of just made it up. I saw my mentor, she's a real life tailor seamstress, how she hung her patterns, and I was like, oh, I can do this. I was like, I don't know how, but I can do this. She told me about these hooks I can buy. I totally bought all the wrong stuff, but I made up my own system, so I don't really care. So I buy these hooks, and after I cut out my pattern, I literally use a hole punch. I now know that there's this thing called a rabbit punch or something like that people use. And so I use a hole punch, and then I literally stick a binder sticker on the hole so it doesn't rip. And then I hang my pattern, and that's kind of how I keep it organized. In this space, since it's a separate room, I'm probably just gonna leave it out. That's gonna be the best place. I mean, eventually we're gonna put doors here. They may be glass, but still it'll be a separate space. I am not that clean and organized to where I have to tidy up everything. In our other house where my sewing room was up front, I did like to keep it more clean, but now that it's its own space, I think I'm just gonna let it be, because that is the worst part about sewing, is like you're in the middle of something and you're like, I don't want to clean all this up. If I want to leave it on my sewing machine, I'm just gonna walk away for now. My favorite book is How to Speak Fluent Sewing by Christine Haynes. as a beginnerist sewist, if I have a question about something or a like definition that I need to figure out, like that book is the book that I go to where I'm just like, what the heck is this? Or even the fabric, like what the heck fabric is this? Like, you know, all of that stuff is perfect. That book has saved me on numerous occasions. That's probably the one thing I couldn't live without.
I have had the best time interviewing Tiffany here in Central Florida, and I think that Tiffany is a great reminder that even if sewing isn't a part of your life right now, even if you need to take a break for whatever reason, you're having a baby, you're moving, you're just not feeling inspired, no matter what the reason is for taking your break, you can always come back. I loved seeing her excitement and inspiration for what could be in her new sewing space. And I think that she is a great reminder that you shouldn't feel scared to jump back in, even if you haven't sewn for a long time. Also, Tiffany, can I just have this like amazing white box of a room? It's so pretty.
Yeah.